The bedroom was a tomb of shadows, the air thick with the sour tang of last night's wine. I stood frozen, staring at the glint of gold on the nightstand. A wedding ring, my wedding ring, carelessly tossed beside a half-empty glass. Sarah's voice from last night echoed in my skull, her laugh sharp as broken glass. "Oh, this? Just a friendship bracelet now, Matt." Her words had been a playful jab, delivered with a wink over dinner, but they'd lodged in my chest like a splinter. Now in the gray dawn, the ring's presence screamed louder than her absence. The bed was empty, the sheets cold. Her suitcase was gone. I clutched the ring, its weight heavier than the vows it once sealed. My pulse hammered, each beat a question: where is she? Why now? The house felt hollow, every creak of the floorboards a taunt. I stumbled to the kitchen, hoping for a note, a sign, anything to stitch sense into this unraveling morning. Nothing. Just the drip of the coffee maker, mocking my need for clarity. My phone buzzed on the counter, her name on the screen. A text: "I'm sorry. I need space." Space. After 8 years, 2 miscarriages, and a mortgage we'd barely scraped through? My thumb hovered over the call button, but my gut churned with a truth I wasn't ready to face. The living room smelled of her lavender perfume, faint but clinging, like a memory that refused to fade. I sank onto the couch, the same one we'd picked out at a flea market, laughing over its hideous plaid pattern. Her laugh, God, it used to light up my world. Lately, it had been different, sharper, like she was laughing at a joke I wasn't in on. Last night at dinner, her phone had buzzed incessantly. "Work," she'd said, her eyes darting away. I'd believed her because I wanted to, because doubting her meant doubting us. I scrolled through my phone, fingers trembling, searching for clues in our text history. Her messages had grown curt over the past month. Late again, don't wait up. Meeting ran long. Grabbing drinks with Jen. Jen. Her coworker, her confidant, the one who'd been at our wedding, toasting to our forever. I opened Jen's contact, hesitated, then typed, "Is Sarah with you?" The reply came too fast. "Haven't seen her since yesterday." "Everything okay?" My stomach dropped. Yesterday, Sarah had said she was with Jen. The lie sat there, cold and undeniable, like the ring in my palm. The house was too quiet, the kind of quiet that amplifies every thought. I wandered to her office. A small room cluttered with books and her vintage typewriter. Her laptop was gone, but a sticky note clung to the desk. "Call TT?" Who the hell was T? My mind raced, conjuring faces. Tom from her office, with his slick smile? Or maybe Tara, her old college friend who'd resurfaced last year? I rifled through her desk, guilt prickling my skin. A folded receipt slipped from a drawer. Dinner for 2 at La Rosa, dated last week. I hadn't been there. The total, $142, stung like a slap. Who pays that much for a work dinner? My phone buzzed again. Another text from Sarah. "Please don't hate me. I'll explain soon." Hate her? I didn't know if I could. I loved her too much, even now, with betrayal clawing at my chest. I called her, but it went straight to voicemail. Her voice, warm and familiar, promised to call back soon. A lie like everything else. I sank to the floor, the receipt crumpled in my fist, and let the anger come. It burned, but beneath it was something worse: grief. Grief for the life I thought we had. The doorbell jolted me upright. Through the peephole, I saw Jen, her face pale, eyes red-rimmed. My heart lurched. "Matt," she said when I opened the door, her voice barely above a whisper. "We need to talk." She stepped inside, clutching her purse like a lifeline. The air between us crackled with unspoken truths. "Sarah's not herself," she began, avoiding my gaze. "She's been distant. I didn't want to worry you, but..." She stopped, her lips trembling. "But what?" I snapped, louder than I meant. Jen flinched. "She's been spending time with someone. I don't know who. She wouldn't tell me." The room spun. I gripped the counter, the edge biting into my palm. "When?" I asked, my voice hoarse. Jen swallowed hard. "For months. I thought it was stress, maybe a midlife thing. But last week, I saw her at La Rosa. She wasn't alone." The receipt burned in my pocket. "Who was it?" I demanded. Jen shook her head, tears spilling. I couldn't see his face. "She looked happy, Matt. Happier than I've seen her in years." Happier. The word was a knife, twisting deeper with every syllable. I wanted to scream, to demand why Sarah hadn't talked to me, why she'd let our marriage bleed out in silence. Instead, I asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" Jen's eyes met mine, full of guilt. I wanted to, but she's my friend. I thought she'd come back to you. Come back. Like I was a place she'd left behind. I drove to La Rosa, the receipt my only lead. The restaurant was dim, all velvet booths and candlelight, a place for secrets. The hostess recognized Sarah's name, her smile faltering when I mentioned the date. She was with a gentleman, she said carefully. They come here often. Often. The word was a death knell. I pressed for a name, but she shook her head. I can't, sir. Privacy. I left, the ring heavy in my pocket, its inscription, always yours, mocking me. Back home, I sat in the dark, replaying every moment of the past year. The late nights, the excuses, the way Sarah's touch had grown mechanical, like a habit she couldn't break. I'd rationalized it all. Her job was demanding, we were both tired, marriages ebb and flow. But now, the truth was a flood, drowning every excuse. I opened my laptop, heart pounding, and logged into our shared cloud account. Her photos synced automatically. I scrolled, dreading what I'd find. There it was, a selfie time-stamped last month. Sarah radiant, her arm around a man whose face was half-cropped. His hand rested on her waist, familiar, possessive. The background was a park we used to walk in, back when we'd talk about forever. I zoomed in, searching for clues, but the image was blurry. My hands shook as I opened her emails, hating myself for it. A draft unsent. I can't keep doing this to him. But you make me feel alive. No recipient, no name. Just those words, carving out my heart. The front door creaked. Sarah stood there, suitcase in hand, her face a mask of exhaustion and guilt. Matt, she whispered, her voice breaking. I stood, the ring clenched in my fist. Who is he? I asked, my voice steady despite the storm inside. She flinched, her eyes darting to the floor. It's not what you think, she said, but her voice was thin, unconvincing. Then what is it? I stepped closer, the air between us electric with pain. You called our ring a friendship bracelet. You lied about Jen. You're gone all night, and now you're back with that look on your face. Tell me the truth. She sank onto the couch, tears streaming. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said, her words barely audible. It's Tom. From work. It started as nothing, coffee talks. But he saw me, Matt. Really saw me. Her words were a punch, stealing my breath. And I didn't? I asked, my voice cracking. She looked up, her eyes raw. You stopped looking. You were there. But you weren't there. I wanted to argue, to scream that I'd loved her every day, but the truth in her words silenced me. We'd both been drifting, lost in our own silences. I'm ending it, she said, her voice firmer now. I came back to tell you that. I don't want to lose us. I stared at her, the woman I'd vowed to love forever, now a stranger wearing her face. The ring burned in my hand. I wanted to believe her, to rebuild what we'd lost, but the image of her with him, happy, haunted me. How do I trust you again? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She reached for me, but I stepped back, the distance between us a chasm. I dropped the ring onto the coffee table, its clatter deafening in the silence. You called it a friendship bracelet, I said, my voice cold. Maybe that's all it ever was. I walked out, the door slamming behind me, her sobs echoing in my ears. The night swallowed me, the stars indifferent above. I didn't know if I was leaving her or myself, but I knew one thing. Trust, once shattered, leaves shards too sharp to piece back together.